Hello, hello, and good morning. Today I've been thinking about something that shouldn't be a problem anywhere, but it's always been a problem for everyone, even though it's paired up everywhere. And the symbol of it, I find, is see, whether it's by divine design or I have helpers, but helpers always get in the way too. And then you get too excited and and you go overboard, and your helpers won't always be there. Of several times in my life, sounds like time for breakfast. I guess we're eating it right now, huh? When suddenly it came to me, ah, I need to do this. This is what life's about. Then it would surround me, it'd be everywhere. But no matter how good it got, there would be something missing. It'd take a few years off my life and a lot of money. And it's about the journey, right? And so it was all enjoyable. A couple instances of this, just to kind of sum up some stories. First one I can think about, for sure. Well, there's about four of them. Let's see. So when I was a teenager, right? I guess I've always been this sucker for romance and love, but am I really? Or is it the fantasy? And am I doing it or are they doing it? And it seems like I've been the one that's been doing it, and others fantasize about it, but they don't give it, but they ain't got it. I don't know. I guess I'll think about that later. But I wrote about 1,000 poems. Told myself I want to write 3 poems a day. And it was inspired by a girl I really wanted to be with. And she went to prom with somebody else. Some big old. He's a really good guy, but he's a big guy. He wasn't skinny. His name was Puna, too. He's from Hawaii. And I know they didn't get married or nothing. They didn't get hooked up. Let's see. People always go for their opposites somehow. Her name was Shelley. Inspired me to start writing poetry. Borrowed a couple of her poems and put them in the front of my notebook as if I wrote them. But then that inspired me. And so then I wrote poems for 3, 4 years. Numbered them. Wrote them every night, sitting there listening to music. Just fantasizing about dreams and reality and hearing something in a song. And then with or without the experience of that thing, would just write a poem just right off the wrist. Walk around town, meet a girl, be like, Jen. Write a poem about Jen. Until I went to college. But during that period, there was a period where I was like, man, I want a girlfriend. And there's a couple of years of my life there where I was living at home. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any school. And I just wandered around the world but just in one town. 8, 9 o'clock at night, or anytime it'd be blizzard outside. Take off my headphones, sitting by my bedside, writing poetry or whatever, or reading, listen to music, culturizing myself to the world and everything in it, because there was nothing out there for me. Parents just watch TV, and everybody else is just into talking about each other or fucking around. I don't know. I just get up, just start walking. And for a while there, we lived a couple miles outside of town, so I had to walk a mile and a half just to get to town. And there was like another 2 miles to get to the center of town, or a mile and a half. And then I just like walked the circuit. I don't know. Walk up to the country kitchen, which became a millstone. As long as I could come up with 86 cents. Yeah, you're out of here, huh? Thank God. Now I'd sit there and I can have a bottomless cup of coffee for as long as I wanted. And write poetry or people watch. Then when I want it, suddenly girls start coming to my life, but none of them would last longer than a week. Because they just like, oh, we met. It's so romantic. Take me. Or they just throw themselves on me and I'm like, whoa, we just met. And then they'd go back to their, whoever they were fucking anyway. They all just wanted in. They just wanted to take it. Like rapists or something. So I probably dated a couple hundred girls. And I think it was in like a year. It was close to 200. I didn't sleep with a single one of them. They all just got what they wanted. They got a little bit of attention. And then they could go tell their stories about me. How weird is that? Then it happened again when I was in my early 20s. Where for a while I was thinking, I had this vision, this thought that I was going to die in a car accident by the time I was 25. That's weird because I did die in a car accident when I was 30. It's pretty fucking weird. But I didn't die. And then I was rebirthed another time, in another place, in a bus. It had nothing to do with the car. And I had a place to live. At the business. And in the vehicle. Apart from having a house. But anyway. So then suddenly I decided, you know, while I was like, I don't want any kids or a wife. I just want to experience life. And then suddenly I was like, well, fuck. It doesn't matter how much I could ever know and ever get out of life. When I'm dead, it's gone. I mean, I can't take it with me, but yeah, I can. It's all coming with me. Well, fuck. I mean, that's good, right? Or is that like taken from the world? Like just absorbing it all and just heading out the back door, like put everything together. Okay, bye. Thanks for this life. Yeah, that sounds what the devil do. He was born into a body and just show up and he'd be like, give me all them fucking books. Yeah, let me date all these girls. I want to know everything and everybody. I ain't leaving no kids. And then I'll just give you a bunch of shit that you can talk about and I'm out. And you can tell stories about me as long as you fucking want. Eat a dick. But of course, I ain't like that. But that's a funny way to see things, huh? When we look at ourselves as to what it could possibly look like in a grand scheme of things or to others and our own perspectives of it, too. So then, even though I didn't have a car, I was working like 2-3 jobs in a real small town. So all the jobs, like there's hundreds of jobs, but it's just on like the 3-block radius. And as soon as I decided, yeah, I need to find a wife. I need to find someone. And part of that is not just a wife that makes me happy, but somebody that's going to bear my kids and going to stay with me over them kids, over the money, over the drugs, over everything. And it's not just about me. It's not just about her. It's not just about the kids. But all that shit's got to come together and stay together for prosperity for all. Well, as soon as I thought that, fucking everywhere I go, women start coming out the woodwork. And at the same time, as soon as you got a little bit of confidence or you're on a mission, then like a lot of the fears go away. Being like, oh, she's real pretty. I don't know, maybe she'll reject me. I'm scared to go talk to her. Maybe this is my one and only shot kind of shit. And I'd just be like, walk up. Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh. What are you drinking? Oh, you tried this one? Well, hey, I'm free on Thursday after I get done at bartending over wherever. You want to go on a date? And then shit, should I get her number? And she say yes. And then I go walk down the street and bump into somebody that I might know in high school. They'd be like, "Oh, hey, I ain't seen you forever. Hey, you want to go on a date on Thursday?" No, I'm busy on Thursday, but I'm free after I'm done being a barista. Uh, at that coffee place, the one that sells the funny weird shoes with the springs in it. Yeah, when I get done over there. You wanna? You live up here, or are you still in Spearfish? Want to have a lunch date? Or sure, sure. Well, I don't have a vehicle. Well, I'll drive up and pick you up. All right, we'll make a whole afternoon of it. I'm free all Friday afternoon. I don't have to go to my other job. Right on. And then and it just went that way, and I became so that I had to, in almost overnight, had to come up with. I had a black book, like a little journal. I mean, and write down, okay, my schedule and then all my dates in it. So I keep all that shit straight, having 2, 3 jobs and going on different dates with different girls, and it just fucking became center of attention of no attention at all. I didn't have a car, and it had zero to do with money. And most of the time, I wouldn't hardly spend any money on a date because it doesn't have anything to do with that. If you can't hang out with me, then what the fucking point is it? Sure, I'll buy you a drink. We could sip on something, and usually the girl would end up being the one that would pay for the whole date or most of it. And I wouldn't ask. They'd just be like, oh, yeah, here, I'll take care of it. But then usually 2, 3 dates, I'm like, I don't want to break this girl's heart. I love them all. Fuck. Either she's not ready or I'm not ready, or I can already see the future. That she's this way now. But knowing that what I know about her and what I know about me, and seeing how everybody else's relationships worked out, having like lifetimes of experience before I was 20, and knowing so many different kinds of people and all about the world before I even actually dug into it. Um, I'd see, damn, yeah, it'll be going great for about 6 months a year, and I'm pregnant, and all of a sudden she'll saddlebag on me, and then she won't want to do nothing, and then then I'll really have to buck up and get all this money and shit to provide for her, and then fuck it, then I'm fucked either way. I don't like how this marriage shit looks and how this relationship works with women unless we're like really on the same plane. And it's got to be almost like these dates where she's going to provide everything. And I'm willing to do anything and provide anything for her. But she's got to be the man in the relationship, weirdly enough. And I'm not putting up with shit. At the same time as I'll put up with anything. This is complicated. So another time in my life is just like that. Suddenly I wanted to collect coins. And in a 1 or 2 year period, I ended up with anywhere from probably three to upwards of $10,000 worth of coins. That's probably a stretch of the limit, but it really depends on how you look at it. It's a penny right here, but then if you go online and look at the value, it's worth 150. But then if you find the right person, it's like, oh, you have that one. That's the one I need. 250. Okay, I just got my taxes. Here's your 250. Thank you. You know. And then you go to the dealer, uh, and then they're like, I'll give you 750 for it. Right on. No, $7. The fuck? This is a $150 coin. Whatever. So that's kind of also relates to relationships and how good something looks and how rare it is. When each of us is rare and that important as that's the one I need to finish my collection. But no, that's the one I need to start my collection. Oh no, that's the one that's going to provide the whole collection. Oh, fuck. So I learned a lot about money in the world and uh, symbolism and all that kind of just history through coins. But this morning, there's a coin. I almost have no coins left. I had to sell it all to get in that stupid bus. And the best, dumbest thing I bought with any of it that I still have, that I'll have till the day I die, weirdly enough, is these flames on my arm. And the worst part about it was, I came in, I gave him an image of some black and white flames, exactly what I wanted. And I laid down, started getting tattooed. I was just talking about an hour, and he's like, "You wanted color in this, right?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? That's not even a fucking picture I fucking gave you." Oh my gosh, and I stressed out the other half of the time because I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck am I doing here? I'm giving money to this dude for something, and I paid him for one thing, and he gave me another, and now I gotta sit through it. This is some fucked up shit. And then when I get done, he's like 350, and that's what's weird. Well, the ink's already in you. Well, that's not what I wanted. I shouldn't have to pay you $1. Well, I put it in the time. Like, what do I do? Fucking pull out a gun and shoot you? Because that's what you deserve right now. But how do I take this to court, right? How can I fucking sue your ass? Comes down to this one coin I got. This certain things that I don't know, just attached to us. There's a lot of different coins that had a lot of meaning to me. This is one I still have. It's pretty heavy. It's that thick. It's rough. It looks like this. Sorry, it's a little blurry. You get the gist of it. My camera must be dirty or doesn't want to focus. Typical of devices, huh? That's just the lighting. Anyway, that coin's worth about 50 to 80 bucks if you want a value on it. But that's the thing about each of us. How no matter how much money, like under your social security number or whatever, how much money you got in the bank, what's the real value of any person? If every person's worth unlimited amount of money and fucking worthless because you can just shoot this one in the head, walk in the next room and be like, "Do you want to die? You hungry? All right. Come over here and lick my butt for the next 3 hours." Well, I gave you the other options. There's the third world for you. Nobody likes to be put in that kind of situation. And at the same time, this kind of situation in the world, isn't it? Even in America. This is do or die shit. Everybody's dead. What's there to do? Well, so the rare thing about this coin that I was thinking about this morning in relation to relationships, right? The act, right? In the act, he wants inside and she wants him inside. And more or less, with the lights off, to some degree, it doesn't matter, does it? But it does. And it could always be the last time. But it'll never be the last time. If it happened once, the memory remains. Well, so this coin in 1708, from 1760 to 1790 or so, um, the Islamic Empire, from an area now known as Pakistan, invaded into Indian territory, in a place now called India, and took over. But this is a 1 rupee, which I can't remember. I just want to look it up just because it might mean something to somebody. Indian money is pretty funny. I could talk about that. Oh yeah, 1 rupee is worth 11 cents. Here's one that's worth $75. And ain't even written in Indian. It's written in Arabic. But it's a 1 rupee. That's a foreign coin. With some history behind it, it means something. So, just talking about cultures. I've worked for and been with uh, people who were raised Islamic and first and second generation Americans and Indian as well, Hindu. See, that's funny because, well, if you're, I see the division there. So if you're Indian, then you must be Hindu, or is everyone Hindu? What's Indian? If there's American Indians and there's Indians in Australia, but they're black. And there's Indians in the South, but they're called Mexicans. But then, oh, if you're Arabian, then you must be Islamic. Isn't that a religion? But Arabian, isn't that an area, like a continent, like a mass kind of thing? It's pretty clever how everything's mixed together, huh? And these divisions all kind of divide and kind of point towards something. So one thing I know about Hindu Indians is how they like Americans, especially that don't really have a home, and especially if they do any kind of drug, even if it's like smoke weed or cigarettes. But that's apart from their religion and culture. At the core, like God, church part of it, right? You know, there's lots of Hindus that drink and smoke and shit. But in some areas it's illegal. But you can still go buy it. There's stores that sell it. That's what's weird, see? The drug dealers are out on the street, but then you go buy it like holy water, or like go to the weed store and go get the weed, and then you go to church and you give it to the church, or you burn it at the altar. You take the alcohol and you pour it out for Buddha or Shani Dev or ain't that strange? Well, so then they bring in people like that when their whole family's connected, right? And it's one family, but we're all busted, and we got to go back to India every year. And now we got businesses, but they're American businesses, and we can live there, but we get somebody who's a dog. We can keep as our dog, as the god of the place, as the untouchable one in America. We take the untouchables and we use them as our dogs, as the god, to protect the place and to know it all that we can kick when we need to. Keep the shit running straight. And if we have any problems with them, we'll just fucking divide them and part it out. We'll part them out. Then the weird thing about Pakistanis, from what I know, a lot of places, like if you're an American and you go down to the markets or whatever and you walk along, they'll fucking give you shit for free if you're an American. Especially if you got a cell phone and you record that shit. And be like, hey, you go to the market and, hey, these earrings look great on you. I don't need any earrings today, thank you. No, take them. Take them, they're yours. I don't want to buy them. No, they're yours. Take them. What? I'm not shopping for earrings. They look good on you. Take it. Are you gonna beat me up around the corner? Or like, this seems kind of weird. I never went to the store and they're like giving me free shit. But then the idea is, oh, but you piss one off, and he'll fucking walk up in the mall and fucking kill everybody, including himself. So don't you piss one of them off. There's their two sides, right? They have a relationship. And just like the altar of God, for lack of a better word, in relationship. So on one side, y'all huddled under the Christmas tree, hitting out your crack pipe or whatever, with a needle in your vein, just trying to be at that place with the man in the womb with your mother, just getting eaten alive by the umbilical cord, getting all that sustenance. Now on the other end, you got all these churches and God places to choose from. But if you have to go there, and they tell you where to read out of the book, and a guy up there ain't Jesus, and you're singing his praises, that looks kind of weird too. Kind of the same way, but different. I'm gonna leave it there for now.